like a Kit Kat on steroids. This one's definitely a new favorite. Hey everyone, this is Yun here. At NoshFinder, we are here to bring people together through flavors. And speaking of bringing people together through flavors, I love it when the snack community gets together and I meet other fellow snack lovers. And I recently met Kev, Mike, and Pat from Chau Crunch, and they're based off in Canada, and I'm based over here in the US, and we actually had a chance to facilitate a snack exchange between the both of us. And so they shipped over a box of packed to the gills Canadian snacks over to me that I recently got, and I shipped over some American Trader Joe's snacks. So we're so excited to be continuing the snack exchange. Thank you guys. Be sure to check out Chau Crunch. I left the link in the description below. They have a lot of fun, entertaining videos for you to watch. Thank you guys again for the care package. I look forward to our next snack exchange. So this is part 1 of a Canadian snack haul that I will be trying. So let's get to it and try these snacks out. So we have these candy bars that I have from the Canadian box that the Chau Crunch guy sent over to me. And I kind of lined them all up actually in chronological order because I did a little bit of research as to what these bars are. So the first one we're going to start off with is the original Makintosh Creamy Toffee Bar. Makintosh has actually been around for about 100 years or so, started off in England, and Canada actually produces its own version. So let's open it up and see how it tastes. It actually looks like a melted flat caramel bar. It smells like if you ever walk into like a See's Candy and you smell like chocolate and some caramel, this is exactly what this bar smells like. It has like a buttery, caramelly type of scent to it. So let's take a bite of it. Okay. Oh, I finally got a little bit of a piece off. I don't know how somebody would eat this one. It's so hard. It's very chewy. I can't really bite into it, as you can tell. It's not a hard candy, but it's just like, it's so compact and so chewy that I really feel like I would actually tear my teeth out. Flavor-wise, like the toffee caramel type of chewy candy, but I think chewy is an understatement because this is pretty much like a harder candy instead, but not brittle enough for you to break off of it. So I actually really don't know how one can finish this whole bar. If you tried this before, let me know if I'm eating it wrong. So next we have Coffee Crisp. So this bar actually originated in Canada since the 1930s. The ingredients include some sugar, modified milk, cocoa butter, cocoa mass, coffee, more cocoa, and some natural flavors. All right, let's open it up and see how it tastes. Kind of like a Snickers bar or a Three Musketeers or a Milky Way. Like it's kind of like the same type of like lengthy chocolate bar, a little like dense maybe, but it is pretty light, so it might not be super overly heavy. And when I smell it, I really like the smell of this one. It has a nice like milk chocolate coffee type of notes. Not too overpowering coffee, but it definitely has that mix. So a bit like a mocha type of smell. So let's try it out and see how it tastes. This one's definitely a new favorite. There's so many wafer pieces inside. It's like a Kit Kat on steroids. It's super thick, super crispy, wafer, and chocolate and coffee. Coffee's not too overpowering. It's very subtle, but really nice and aromatic. Milk chocolate is not too sweet, which I really like. And the wafer, it's such a great mix between the two. I really love this one. This one's so delicious. I can see why it's been around since the 1930s because this one is super strong. And I haven't really tasted anything like this in the US at all. I love this one. This one will be done in no time. So next one we have is the Cadbury Wunderbar. And this bar has been around since the 1970s and is claimed to be the munchiest bar ever. So we'll see if it's gonna be the munchiest bar. So let's open it up and see how it tastes. I feel like a kid in Halloween, but these are all adult-sized candy bars. If you ever have Rolos, they're like a long version of a Rolo or like a Toblerone, but instead of the triangle pyramid, it's just like a round, like a half moon type of mound. And I can see a little bit of the peanut butter already peeking out and some of the caramel. And when I smell it, ooh, it smells like a Reese's peanut butter cup. All right, so let's try it out and see how it tastes. So imagine a Reese's peanut butter cup and a Snickers bar had a baby. This is exactly what this is. There's like the nice, soft, milky chocolate outer layer with a Reese's Pieces like buttercup type of smooth, buttery, peanut butter kind of texture inside. But at the same time, there's little chunks of peanut like a Snickers bar, and there's caramel coming out. This is really good. I really like it. It's kind of like the best of both worlds for our two types of candy bars into this one candy bar offered in Canada. I really like this one too. Really good. So next we have the Cadbury Crispy Crunch Bar. So this bar was actually originally from the United States since the 1990s, but the factory Pro Set, I think they do collectible cards, actually went bankrupt. So the company actually went up to Canada instead and started producing this bar there. So let's open it up and see how it tastes. Oh, I thought this was the chocolate, but it's actually paper. I almost ate it. Paper, not edible. And then this is the bar. All right. So when I look at the bar, it's just like a bit of a flatter version of like all the other candy bars. So it's a little bit on the flatter side, not as soft as some of the other candy bars I just tried. And when I smell it, I might be getting some peanuts. It might be like a Butterfinger. So I think this might be like a flatter version of an American Butterfinger. So let's try it out and see how it tastes. Not digging this one as much because it just gets stuck in my teeth. But the middle layer, it's like this, a little bit like peanut crispy texture, so a little bit closer to a Butterfinger in that aspect. The toffee brittle is like protecting the inside of the candy bar. And I think I almost want to like take off the crisp on the outside in order to enjoy like the inside piece. So not the hugest fan of this particular one. So the last one we have is Mr. Big. So this is Cadbury Mr. Big and is one of the biggest bars in Canada for a chocolate bar. So this one's a bit more on the lumpier side. I have a feeling that there's a lot of peanuts, like whole peanuts inside of it. And then there's like some caramel coming out of it. Ooh, and I see some Rice Crisp too. So there's gonna be a lot of texture in this one for sure. And when I smell it, it smells like a richer type of milk chocolate. And a little bit of the caramel, but that's about it. So let's try it out and see how it tastes. This one has a lot of textures, a lot of flavors. I think it's a little bit too sweet. I like the wafer texture with the Rice Krispies and then the chocolate with the caramel, which actually makes it a little bit sweeter. But it's almost like a combination of maybe all the different types of like textures and flavors from a chocolate bar that you would like. It has like the crispiness like a Crunch bar, the wafer like a Kit Kat, and a caramel like the Snickers, and then the milk chocolate like any of the other candy bars. So it's really interesting. I actually thought there were peanuts in here, but I don't think there are any. Yeah, so I think the maker of this bar really wanted to make it like a big bar with all the combinations from various different types of textures and flavors, from like a Crunch, from a Kit Kat, from a Snickers, and from like a regular chocolate bar, all into this one. So a lot of cool flavors for sure. Just a little bit too sweet for me, and I think ranking them all, like this one would be just like right in the middle for average. So out of all the candy bars, I would have to say my favorite would have to be the Coffee Crisp. I really love the flaky texture. I think because I love Kit Kats too. Like I really do love like this Kit Kat on steroids with the wafer cookies. I'll definitely be trying to search for it when I'm in Canada for sure. Be sure to tune in for part 2 as I dig into some chips and some gummies from the snack box that the Chau Crunch guys sent to me. And big shout out again to Chau Crunch. Be sure to check out their channel for some fun and entertaining snack review videos. And until next time, I will see you on the next NoshFinder. Happy snacking!